What's going on, everybody? Today we're here with Coach Sammy Hillegas, newly named Lynchburg assistant coach, as well as two-time Pennsylvania state champion, Big 12 placer. Coach, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, kind of speaking on, your new role at Lynchburg, kind of how did this come about and what, I guess, kind of drew you into wanting to get into coaching?
You know, go. I've always wanted to coach. I think it was going to be a part of my life, no matter what, at any kind of level. But that's the part of being in the wrestling world is it being so small and just having mutual connections and everything. And Vinny had reached out to our director of ops, Kyle Brackey at West Virginia, and they used to live together, worked at Flow together for a while. And he was just talking about how he got his head coaching job down here and was asking about guys and just names for assistants. And our coaching staff threw my name out there. And then I got in touch with Vinny and we just kind of got the ball rolling down here.
Yeah, what's it kind of, because you guys won't be starting this next season, be the next. So kind of what's it like launching a brand new program?
Yeah, so right now it's there's a lot that goes into place like getting the ball started for us. So like just behind me, I put down some of our upcoming travel dates. So we're going to be on the road a ton this year, going out and just recruiting a lot. And then we got a facility up, but we just order our mats. They're coming in at the end of the month, and then building subfloors and finishing the locker room space. But everything's done. It's a beautiful facility, so we're grateful to have it.
Your personal goals as a coach, year one, whether that be, success or just culture, competitive standards?
I think being where we are right now, I think that we want to jump in and kind of make a splash and kind of just where we're at, like regionally, just being in the ODAC and everything and having great recruiting like sources around us. I think that we want to come in within those first like 3 years, become a top 20 program. I think that's going to be the first big thing right away for us.
As a coach and recruiter, what's your kind of ideal recruit for your program?
I think ideal recruit is somebody that's going to be able to kind of I tell people I like that blue collar kind of workman-like ethic. So just being able to put your head down and go to work, be adaptable, be able to listen and change and kind of take when you take your losses, be able to respond and bounce back, use those as learning opportunities. So I mean, there's a lot of things I look in for recruits, just based on who you are as a person, what kind of student you are, and how you compete as an athlete.
I know you haven't been down there too long, but what's the energy kind of been like around the program so far and just being around the college and community?
I mean, it's exciting. We everyone's pumped that we're starting a program on campus, got it with all the coaching staff and everything, been able to hop in here rather easily, connect with everybody. And we reached out to a bunch of the alumni because last time the program was up and running was back in the 80s.
Oh,
So
wow.
reached out to all those alumni and they're stoked. Vinny's been taking a lot of calls recently, wrote some handwritten letters, so trying to get our name back out there and get people excited for what's going to happen in Lynchburg.
Yeah, collegiately, you wrestled for Virginia Tech as well as West Virginia. How have these programs kind of shaped your approach to coaching?
I was around two amazing staffs, with Roby wrestling under Flynn and everything. I think I was in two very good systems of wrestling, and being able to take the differences between both staffs. I loved everything Roby had going on, same with Coach Freyer down there, and I couldn't have asked for anything better whenever I transferred to West Virginia with Coach Flynn, Port, and Coach Moore. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things I took from them, just being able like coaching perspectives and being able how to handle everything down there on another level and on a staff level. But yeah, I mean, I was around a lot of great minds and people just even growing up throughout the sport. Like just growing up, I had Coach Jim Akerley who runs Quest School of Wrestling up in PA, and then I had Coach Sonny Abe who runs Pitbull, and then I had my dad, and then I also had Vertus Jones who is my high school coach. So I mean, I've been around some of the best, and I'm grateful for that because it's going to go a long way in helping me kind of shape who I am as a coach.
How would you describe your coaching style?
I'm very, very, very technical. So I mean, I have a I feel like I have a good understanding of being able to work through a lot of positions and kind of break down technique. And I think that goes to show. I mean, just how we're going to work with guys and situationally and breaking things down for them and certain like match positions and just kind of how to be kind of make calculated decisions, you know. It's not always bad if you give up a takedown and stuff, and you want to wrestle in your positions and just being able to adapt while you're wrestling. So I feel like I have a good feel of just understanding a lot of things and things I've taken in over the years and made things into mine, even though they don't work for my kind of style. So I'm used to wrestling no matter what kind of style and kind of can cater that towards different people and what they need for their wrestling.
You had the chance to compete, in the ACC as well as the Big 12. What stood out for you about each conference?
You know, I think one was a lot of the travel and just getting used to that, being on the road a lot more with West Virginia and flying and traveling and stuff. Whereas the ACC, we were driving to a lot of places. But that also goes to show, like, I mean, if you're talking about the best three conferences, we're leaving out the Big Ten, and I wrestled in Big 12 and ACC. So I saw a lot of like top ranked guys throughout the country. So I know what it is, what it's like preparing every single week and even back to back duels where I'm going to be wrestling a top 20, top 10 ranked guy in the country. So just having that understanding now into and getting our guys ready for like kind of mindset and being mentally prepared to like go into those duels and tournaments and just be ready to go. And it doesn't matter who you're wrestling, just it's a
Absolutely.
match just like every other one.
What match or moment from your college career stands out most to you?
Uh that's a great question. I think just most recently, my Big 12 run. I mean, it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but a lot of people ask me like if I'm still going to continue to wrestle, which I never won't say my shoes are on or off the mat yet, but
Right, right.
I would love to still compete, but I mean, there's no better way I could have asked to end my collegiate career than at the Big 12 tournament I had. I think it's some of the best wrestling I've had throughout my entire career. And I would say definitely wrestling through the backside of Big 12 is having a disappointing loss on the front side against Real Buto. I mean, tough guy, and we've had some crazy matches throughout college, but wrestling one of my longtime really close friends, Gabe Willishow, and then getting another match back against Geoffrey against Mizzou in Big 12. So I think it just kind of let go of everything, all expectations, just went out there and let it fly and just had a good time and wrestled what it should be.
Back in your high school career, you were a two-time PA state champ. How did growing up and competing in PA shape you as a wrestler and prepare you for college, and I guess now prepare you for coaching?
I mean, man, I think some of the toughest matches I'd wrestled might have been in the room rather than at tournaments and everything. Just growing up where I was, being in the Whippeal, it's some of the best wrestling in the country, no matter where you are. Compared to, you can put it up against states. I mean, the guys in the room. I mean, at one point, my senior year, my group of three was going. It was me, Peyton Hall, and Thane Lawrence, and I grew up so many guys. There's a list that I could go on and on about who I worked out with, and just being able to be pushed in the room every single day. It was you're competing for a state title practically in the room. So it's like I wrestled with guys like Ryan Sullivan, Logan Macri, Darren Miller. We were all state champs coming through. So every single day you got to be on your A game, no matter who it was. It was just, hey,
Right.
come in the room to get better. So I mean that played a huge role in like my success growing up because I was prepared every day. I was wrestling top ranked guys in the country in high school every single day in the practice room. So
Was there ever a moment in high school when you realized you did want to compete at the D1 level, or was that your dream as a kid, or kind of when did you realize that you wanted to compete at that high level?
I think throughout middle school, you know, it's hard to kind of gauge where you're at
Right.
because I had won a lot growing up, and once I started getting in the middle school and going in and being around college guys, I used to always go in. Being from Pittsburgh, I would go and work out at the PWC Pitts Club and work out with those guys, and just being around that kind of atmosphere, like really wanted me to get into college wrestling because it's just the camaraderie and everything, and just being a part of like a big program and stuff like that. People who enjoy wrestling as much as I do.
Right.
That's the one thing that kind of drove me, and then just what wrestling showed me as a kid and everything, just being able to travel, meet so many new people and just go around. It was fun. So that's the one thing that geared me towards going to college. And I think it really started showing like my freshman year. I think, in high school. I ended up going undefeated my freshman year, won a state title, and with that it comes a pressure, but it also
Right.
gave me a ton of opportunities to see. So
Yeah, for any younger wrestlers who may look up to you and aspire to do things you have, what advice would you give to them?
I would definitely say, man, just enjoy it and have fun. I mean, the highs are so high and the lows are so low, but it always doesn't have to be like that. So I would say, like, be gracious with your wins and your losses, because it at the end of the day it's not the end of the world. And I
Right.
think every there's a learning experience from both winning and losing. So I think just be able to enjoy the time, be in the moment, and enjoy everything that you have going on. But like at the end of the day, like when you're looking for colleges and stuff, like there also is like the school aspect. Like you want to get a good degree, you want to go on and have an opportunity to do what you want in life. So
Speaking back into your new chapter at Lynchburg, what excites you most about this new chapter in your, I guess, career as well as wrestling journey?
I mean, man, it's exciting to be at a program where there's a lot of belief in us. We've throughout all athletics here at Lynchburg, there's been a lot of like success. So I mean, it's nice to come in here, get a fresh start, and build it how we want to build it, and kind of take our own direction and our own path. So it's an awesome opportunity for me, and especially for Vinny, like being a guy who understands the realm and everything, and just getting ready. I mean, I can't wait to get on the road. I'm starting to travel coming this weekend, so pumped for that, and then really kick into everything recruiting and just understand a different aspect of wrestling. Being on the coaching side now, so it's fun.
As you spoke on kind of going from wrestler to coach. What do you think the biggest adjustment for you personally will be?
I think not being in that competing mindset. I think it's going to be able. I had a good perspective on just kind of spacing everything out, but I also don't want to. I want to hold the expectation that I want for our guys just to push them in the room, but I also don't want to bring them down with that. So I
Right.
think just being on a perspective where I'm going to be able to help every kid in the room, no matter if they're the starter or not. Like I want to be there to help them, even if it's not wrestling, if it's school related stuff or just like getting stuff done outside of the room. I want to be able to help them be the best person they can be.
Get on the room. Is there anything you can share about that at the current moment? I heard it's going to be one of the bigger ones in D3.
Yeah. So right now it's going to be four full mats. So we should have one of the biggest, if not the biggest room in D3. I mean, it's gonna be
Probably D2 as well, honestly.
yeah, it's gonna be a massive, massive room. It's I mean, on like I can't say anything else about it. It's gonna be gorgeous. We already have the plans up and running. We're gonna get in our sub. We're gonna about to build a subfloor for it, so we have the nice cushion mats, and then it's a turfed out space, so we're gonna have a lot of room to get stuff done. We're gonna put our own weight racks and stuff, so the room's nicely done. So we have our own workout space, so we're not lifting here at the school. So yeah, I can barely say enough about it. It's gonna be super nice and perfect for our guys, because if they're not on campus in like in class and stuff, we want them to be in that room because that's going to be their second home.
You spoke on it earlier. The ODAC is a pretty tough Division 3 conference. How excited are you to be able to compete in a tough conference like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped, man. I mean, I know some of the faces in the coaching realm over here, and I mean, they're excited to battle too. So I've been going back and forth with some former teammates that are now coaching at ODAC, and it's exciting, to kind of build that like rivalry a little bit and kind of amp it all up. So I know Virginia's real big, and we're close to a bunch of schools, so excited for that.
For you as a coach, how do you plan to leave your mark on the program?
Man, I want it to have success at all aspects. So whether it be having just a ton of academic All-Americans and All-Americans on the mat, that's going to be huge for us right away. And I think that just goes to say with like our recruiting and everything, how we handle it and get the guys we want, it's going to really show and get more guys to believe and buy into what we're trying to do here at Lynchburg. So I think right away we want to hit the ground running real fast and hard, so we can get a guy on the podium in our first or second year. We want to make a name for ourselves right away. So it's going to be real big for us, and just kind of going the show like when we get on the road, like how like getting our guys to buy in that are going to commit here soon.
Kind of as we wrap up, what's your message to any of the fans of the program or maybe your personal fans, anything like that?
I mean, hey guys, I'm grateful to be in this opportunity right now, sitting down with you, kind of spread the message of Lynchburg Wrestling that we're ready to hit the ground running. Like I said before, many times again, like it's exciting. It's an exciting place to be. Everyone's buying into us right now, so continue that and go Hornets, man. What else can I say?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, coach, best of luck, in this.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks.